Yeah, so I got cut off, but yeah, we was discussing about the insurrection. So my questions to debate is, who was it? Black Lives Matter? Who we doing stuff? I mean, who would be at a Trump rally? So who really led the insurrection on the White House is the question. And that needs to be investigated more deeply because I still don't get who would show up at a Trump rally and harass Trump supporters. They went back to their old tricks, man. Man, and they'll do anything to save their skin. That's a fact. You know what I mean? It seems like we're being played right down the pipe. It's right down the pipe. You know what I mean? With this bull. But it's what it is. You know what I mean? Because I don't understand who would be harassing Trump supporters at a Trump rally. The Trump rally didn't make sense to me. But jumping off of that, we're looking at the MTA now is raising fares, tolls, bridges, subways, and buses. And, you know, they really need to come off of that because the people need money too. You know, you're raising everything, taxes, everything. This is going to cause a lot of people to go into poverty if we're not careful. Even on the bus fare, every year the MTA is raising more and more and more money that on fares to where it's going to get up to be $10 just to ride the bus. Mm, mm, mm. Yep. Let's see what happened. You know, seemed like they kind of sold us out. Because, like I said, we know who up in there, you know, and who's running the show. It seemed like they sold us out to everyone else. You know what I mean? Now, I was looking at something Fauci was saying on the news, and I don't know why they be taking my channel down because if you're so focused on me, that means I must be doing something right. Because why would you be that focused on me when people be up there with way more powerful information on the same subject, but you don't take them down? And then once in a while, one or two of them you may take down, but why are you focusing on mine? I'm only reading what your news is saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm giving it my analogy, you know what I'm saying, just like any other news reporter would. So for you to focus on me means I'm doing something right. That's very funny. But I was looking at something he was saying, but I would never believe nothing that Fauci really has to say if you ask me. That's just my opinion. I ain't arguing with nobody, but it seems like he's a very weird dude. You know what I mean? He go in and out too much for me, and it's very scary if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And why are they choosing to say certain things that they do? I mean, lately they've been saying a lot of weird stuff. You know, stupid things, you know, I've ever heard in my life. You know what I mean? That a poll found that people 30 to 34 Republican voters and people who have among them, you know what I'm saying, who have were among these people at 30 or 34 years of age will say no to the program. 7% of Black Americans will 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 uh will say no on the asleep on this at all. But what I was just trying to say, that's a little bit support that. But 35% of Black people in Americans will say no because they're not asleep on this at all. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying. You have to take it one day at a time, clown. You know what I mean. We can't just run because everybody jump and run. What is this? Skip to the loo, my darling, or something? Sixth grade shit? Where everybody got to follow everybody in a line. I mean, what's going on is really weird. You know, some of these Democrat governors has to go as well. It's time for a change over from this democratized rule. You know what I'm saying, to a better rule. They seem to predominate the government by a long shot for 47 years. They had 47 years. Yo, they must be doing a lot of stuff. What did they try to go to Trump rally and harass the supporters? Who does that? They were harassed. Yeah, to see their skin. And the garbage they do go deep. The rabbit hole goes deep. Believe that. And for the Democrats that have 47 years, it's time for whatever garbage you do, you need to take it with you. But you know, some of these Democratic governors has got to go. You know, if you have a Republican, you need to elect him and make sure he ain't crooked and leaning to both sides, but have some form of bipartisan, which wouldn't hurt as a change. You know, I see Gretchen Whitmore. You know what I'm saying? Time has come. You know, she's got to go. I think her name is Gretchen or whatever it is, Whitmore. She got to go. You know what I mean? Her time has come. It's like Governor Cuomo. It's time for her to move on. Michigan, wake up. Time for a change. You know what I'm saying? And any one of them who is not standing right. As you know, we cannot have 47 years of Democratic rule. Or 50 years. They got to move on with that garbage. And then all that underhanded, slimy, nasty. You know what I mean? We got to watch them. We need Republicans on the ticket. We need Republicans on the ticket. Like Lauren, I guess her name is Lauren. Like Lauren, I think her name is Bo Ebert. You know what I'm saying? Bo Ebert, something like that. We need her. We have Yvette Herschel. Harrell. Yeah, Yvette Harrell or whatever her name is. Hate to mess up the lady's name, sister name. You know, also Scott Perry. You know, we have a lot of good candidates out there. We need to get these Republicans in the seat and make sure they're playing both sides of the ticket. You know, seem like what would make it seems like it's the same like what would make sense to me. You know, well, there was a statement that jumping subject. There was a statement that was made that I was reading also where you know it's the same like what makes sense to me because when he said it, it makes a lot of sense. It was a former Attorney General made a good statement. Attorney General William Barr, you know what I mean, got the Department of Justice, the DOJ, involved to remind states and local government that the Constitution did not end due to a pandemic, which makes sense. A whole lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Let's wake up here. He is right on this point tonight. So he gets a point black on that one. Even looking at the justice, you know, even looking at when Justice Amy, I think his name is Justice Amy Coney Barrett was confirmed to the Supreme Court last year. You know, many Democrats vowed to take revenge by packing the court, you know, with liberal justice. But they just got a little warning by a liberal who's already there. You know what I mean? Against that move. But you know, he said that's not a good move. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Justice Stephen G. Breyer, whatever his name is, 64, saying that, you know, that kind of change to the Supreme Court could erode public trust in the judiciary. You know, I agree. He gets a point black on that because I don't see why you would want to do that. What sense would that make? You know what I mean? Because Tony Barry gets up in there, you gonna go and pack a whole bunch of demon Democrats up in there to countermeasure her. That doesn't make sense. And it goes to show the crooked-handed games you would play in order to save your skin. Said he was going to Trump rallies harassing the supporters. So I'm still asking the question: who would go to a Trump rally if you're a demon Democrat or you don't agree with Trump and be harassing the supporters on a presidential campaign? Oh man! Oh, I see my man Governor Greg Abbott, Republican, strikes again with the signing of an executive order banning the practice of the, I guess, the passport ID thing for COVID in Texas. He gets a point black on that. He's right. Man, they'll do anything to save their skin. Yes, a peace goes out to Michael Flynn. You know what I mean? Michael Flynn out there, because it still sounds like, the old chip and ID, if you ask me, that was done by, or was trying to be brought in by David Rockefeller, pushing the chip and ID garbage years ago, trying to get people to get a chip and ID, put a chip on their skin with an ID. These people try anything to save their skin, won't they? even when, even when it comes to the Democratic Party, we have to look at that now, because the Democratic Party seems to have a lot of garbage with them, like Pharaoh was saying before. When it comes to African Americans, you know what I'm saying, or Africans, Africans in America, you know what I mean, as they would call it, or African Americans, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to agree with that point, because we've been here before you, and that's a fact. Tell Columbus, hold that. Looking like a gremlin. But anyway, you know, we didn't, when it comes to the whole thing, when you look at the Democratic Party based on African American people, to me, they really encourage, lives, they encourage lives or life or black people's lives to really be pushed into poverty, you know what I'm saying, in many of these cities, when you look at the different declarations and different things and stuff that they make, you know what I mean? You know, it doesn't make sense. And they always asking us to vote for them. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But they're doing a lot of this construction by liberal democratic policies and culture, which doesn't make much sense to me, because they've been doing that for years. They set policies that destroy black communities. When we really think about it, with liberal, all kinds of liberal policies, bad democratic inner cities, you know, inner cities, and poor cities. Most of them in democratic cities are poor and run down, empty of all businesses. You know, this reminds me of what happened with Black Wall Street, all over America, same as today. So it ain't surprised me that their policies have pulled all kinds of trick, from eugenics to all kinds of different things they have thrown, trying to destroy my people. And they got to cut that out. Same trickery pushing in the rap music of my people who dominates that. And we have to understand that they're pushing in the rap music, lust, sex, Satan, drugs, and alcohol. Let's not forget killing and all kinds of stupid stuff. To me, the leftists, they love the Blade Runner. You know what I mean? As one would say. And we got to start facing that fact when it comes to these people, because they're full of it. I have noticed it. I noticed how they're talking about a full refusal of certain things too can cost us, you know, cost us a lot of things. Leading to politics, pushing back on government control, and so on and so on. We've got to come better than that, you know. So basically, when Black gonna leave it right here tonight on the news jump off, you know what I'm saying, and let y'all go get some bed. But I want y'all to start thinking about the things that we talk about based on where we going with where we going. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow. So may the rod stay for I as the mother guides our life and we think more wisely in our ways and be more healthy in our ways. I say rod stay for I, not the S-O-N, but the S-U-N. Blessed be her glory in the cosmos, for we are in her womb and we will always be. For she is the maker, and as I say, Sete, Sarah Sultan, Seti the generals would say, which man proceeds his mother? You know what I'm saying? So show some goddamn respect. This is Point Black saying, one.